Hello everybody and welcome to the comeback that nobody asked for and nobody wanted, but you're all getting. It's me, I'm back. I have been gone for a while and a lot has changed, but I am back with a lot of content that I'm super excited for, and I thought, what better way to come back than to share my deepest, darkest moments onto the internet. Now, I was lucky enough to be a teenager in the year 2014, the era of American Apparel pleated skirts, romanticized Tumblr depression, everything Galaxy print, and of course, Wattpad. Now, if those words alone aren't enough to send a shiver down your spine and you somehow don't know what Wattpad is, my God, have I got something to show you. Wattpad is an online platform that allows users to read and publish their own original written content with over 665 million uploads on the site. Of course, this content can be about anything from dystopian novels to romantic pieces. However, the most popular section by far would be fanfiction. Wattpad in 2014 was the literal World Cup for teenage fans, with fanfictions about things like Twilight and One Direction being made into literal cinematic releases like 50 Shades of Grey and After. Bet your life's a bit better now you know that 50 Shades of Grey is about Edward Cullen, huh? And you bet after all of those big name releases, I thought mine was gonna be next. So today I'm going to be rereading my 2014 One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer fanfiction. Let's just do this before I change my mind. So yeah, this fanfiction isn't even finished. It has 10 chapters and that's it. And it's called Game On Popstar. Listen, I don't want to read the bio, but I feel like we should just for, you know, immersion reasons. I'm not your normal girl. Oh, I listen to Green Day and Slipknot, and I don't spend my spare time dreaming about boy bands because I have a life to live. I never wanted One Direction to get involved in my already difficult life. But if Harry Styles gives me a challenge, then what can I say? Game on, Popstar. I don't think I'm making it through this one. There's a whole 51 minutes of reading time for this. We're 10 seconds in. 10. Okay, let's just do it. Fuck. Oh God, I'm getting all sweaty and nervous. Okay. Chapter 1. Hi, my name's Holly. What can I get you? I've been saying these words for the past 3 hours, and if I had it my way, I would never have to say them again. Me, all the time, always, in any social situation. After scribbling down the orders, I skipped through the metal doors into the kitchen. Okay, I need 2 BLTs and a banana milkshake, stat! I yell before returning to the diner. I should probably introduce myself. The pain I feel, like, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, this writing is not bad. I was kind of an artist. I wrote this when I was like 12, 13. My name is Holly Davis and I'm 18 years old. I work at my local diner to make some money because my mum is too busy not caring to notice that she's not the only one who needs food around the house. You could say that I'm one of those people who doesn't really care for anyone apart from herself, because if you let someone into your life, in the end, you'll just get hurt. And I've had my fair share of heartbreaks. 13-year-old me writing this, having never had a boyfriend, is so fun. Oh, okay, we have a new character. Okay, what kind of guy is gonna be Kyokni? Order up! Oh, what was that? Order up! I hear Jeremy, our chef, call from the kitchen. I place the sandwiches and milkshakes on a tray and take it out to the middle-aged woman and her child. Not spilling it. Nobody cares about this. Once the last people had finally filtered out the restaurant, I took my hair down from the messy bun that it was held up in, my fuchsia hair cascading down my shoulders. I heard the obnoxious ringing of the bell that signaled someone entering the room. Sorry, we're closed, I say, untying the apron that was wrapped around my waist. Willing to make an exception. What was with this guy? I slowly turned around to see a young boy around my age with green cat eyes and a mop of slightly wavy hair the color of chocolate sat on his head in the most ridiculous style. I'm sorry, but why would I make an exception for you? I ask, not even caring about how rude I must sound. Oh, I need to sound ruder. I'm sorry, but why would I make an exception for you? The boy laughed the most egoistic laugh I ever heard. Do I mean egotistic? Don't you know who I am? He chuckled, flashing a grin at me. Damn, I want to punch him right now. Should we place our guesses on who we think it is, guys? Leave in the comments right now. Who do you think it is? Who do you think this obnoxious son of a gun in my workplace is? My name's Harry. Harry Styles. My God. Okay. Wait, I'd heard that name before, but where was it? That was when it clicked. Harry Styles, member of that British boy band One Direction, an apparent teen heartthrob, but to me, he just seems like a pretentious idiot that has no idea how to do anything by himself. Yikes. So, are you gonna ask me what I'd like? Harry asked, his narcissistic voice filling my ears. Sorry, did you not hear what I said before? We're closed. I smiled sweetly before turning him round and shoving him back out the door. Idiot. Poor guy just came into the little cafe, little diner, wanting want some scran, and just got pushed out. He got pushed out. A no would have sufficed, Holly. A simple no would have sufficed. And that is chapter 1. Wow, what a gripping first chapter. Harry Potter who? 15 minutes after I'd thrown out douche face. Oh my God, what's your problem, Holly? I was slipping on my black winter coat and stepping outside, where delicate snowflakes were slowly beginning to fall, catching themselves in my hair and eyelashes. That was beautiful, okay. Hurrying along the pavement, I heard a voice behind me. You know, waitresses are supposed to have people skills. Why am I making him like a road man? I'm so sorry, Harry. Oh God, not this again. I whipped my head back round to see the tall figure that, if I had it my way, I would never have to see again, leaning against a brick wall. And I thought pop stars were supposed to be able to sing. I quickly shot back. Fuck me. He threw his head back and began to laugh, that annoying laugh of his. Oh, come on. We both know I can sing better than you. Go tell someone who cares. Wow, you're so feisty and I love it. Oh. Brother, Jesus, please, if you're real, please help me get through this, please. Shut it, Styles. What? God, you've met him once for 5 minutes and we're already on a last name basis? Okay. Whatever, okay. I rolled my eyes and continued down the road, pulling my headphones out of my bag and putting on American Idiot by Green Day. You know that one really indie rock song that not very many people know? Yeah, she's like that. Who does he think he is? Think that every girl he talks to will just fall at his feet? Well, if he thinks I am, he better forget it, because I sure as hell won't be doing that anytime soon. You do know that having music on too loud can damage your ears, right? Okay. Now this is getting boring. Why would he just leave me alone? Not even stopping, I replied, well, I'd rather have hearing damage listening to good music than having my ears bleed with whatever you sing, I say, putting quotation marks around the word sing. I might be being a little bit too harsh, but God, he's just so annoying. Suddenly I felt something grab my hand and spin me back round. Harry was only a meter away, and I could smell the mint in his breath from the gum that he was chewing. Harry Styles, I swear to God, if you don't let me go, I was interrupted by another voice shouting in the distance. Oh my God. Holly? Holly! Oh, please, not today, just please. The person picked up speed till they were stood right in front of me. Meet James, aka the clingy ex. Oh, of course. Because 13-year-old me would have known all about clingy exes. Do you know how old I was when I had my first boyfriend? 20! I'm 22! I broke up with him last month when I realized what a jerk he was, and he hasn't left me alone since. Hey, Holly, who's this? James asked, pointing a finger towards Harry. This is just not my day. Life's just so hard. I just want to listen to Green Day, man. Come on. Oh, him? He was just leaving, and guess what? I asked. What? Both Harry and James replied. You are too. And I walked straight through them both and turned into my street. She's sassy, she's feisty, she's the woman of the hour. I'd also like to point out, this character, James, does not come up again. Just does not come up again. Ceases to exist after that one moment. What? Why? Okay. So chapter 3 is actually pretty unimportant. It's just kind of her getting home. It introduces the mum that doesn't really care, because every fan fiction seemed to have just like a distant parent. But we also learn about the most pivotal moment of the book and what the whole book is about. And that is that our good friend Holly is going to summer camp, which I had no questions for until I read this on stream a few months ago. And everybody pointed out it was snowing in chapter 2. I'm going to say that this is a social commentary on global warming. You know, it can go from snowing one day to summer camp the next. And that's why Save the Turtles, you know? Like, it was a social commentary. I knew what I was talking about, okay? That was not an error on my part. You guys just don't get the vision. Then chapter 4, again, we just have a lot more filler, but we do get introduced to our next key characters. That there are conveniently 5 girls It's almost like there's 5 members of One Direction, and I would eventually write a romance plot for all 5 of them in one book, because that's normal. So we have Kristen, who's like the average pretty girl. We have Crystal, who's the girly girl. We have Alex, who's the tomboy, and Rebecca, who just simply exists. I think I'd run out of female archetypes at that point. So she kind of just exists. So at this point, I read the rest of the chapter, which introduces you to the antagonist, Verity. However, she doesn't really get mentioned a lot in the book and doesn't really add anything. So I decided to just cut it out. But it was great. They called each other dogs, told each other to get on leashes. It was a true feminist piece of literature. But just know whenever I talk about Verity, that's who I'm talking about. And then again, the rest of the it's literally all filler. They steal Verity's keys off of her. Now we're taking property from other people. And then they're getting the summer started. And then they go to find their cabin. So far, this has been shit. Like, not a lot has really happened. We've argued with Harry Styles. We've argued with Verity. We're not really giving. So now we're really getting to the meat and bones of the book. I call it a book. We're at our first camp meeting of Camp Lakeside, which is the name of the camp. Very original, I know. And we're about to get a little plot twist, okay? Okay, now finally, I have a surprise for you all. Okay, now I'm listening. This year, we will be joined by one of the most famous bands of the year. Oh my God. Can it please be someone like Fall Out Boy or Black Veil Brides or Bring Me the Horizon? Please. My own thoughts must have taken over as people were already clapping to welcome the group. Scanning the stage, I saw 5 people that I never wanted to see again. Who was it? Only one freaking direction. She hasn't even met the other 4. She has not even met the other 4, and she's already mad. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I heard Alex moan from next to me. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You could say that we disliked them, or you could say we hated them with all our hearts. Let's go for the second option. My God! I crossed my arms in a feeble attempt to stop myself from having a massive rant in front of everyone. I saw Harry's eyes scan the crowd. It says crown. I think I meant crowd. If he even looks at me, I'll think of something later and it won't be nice. I just really couldn't come to think of something there. I could think of calling women dogs, and I could, steal their keys. But when it comes to Harry Styles, I just couldn't think of a crime bad enough. His eyes eventually found mine as he smirked to himself and winked. He winked at me. Who does he actually think he is? I ignored that whole, I can't wait for this, I'm sure we'll have the time of our lives speech. I didn't want to hear any of it. Okay, boys, you can leave the stage now. Finally, it's time for the team picking. Mrs. L continued to shriek. Because this isn't a normal camp, okay? This is a fun camp. And we're about to explain. 2013, Lexie's about to explain it all, don't you worry. Every year, the camp gets split into 2 teams, the red team and the blue team. Each team has a captain, and they each get to pick who's in their group. At the end of the camp, one team wins. Last year, Kristen, why did I call them Kristen and Crystal? That's so dumb. Time to see who our team captains will be, Mrs. L said. Wandering over to 2 large glass bowls, I had everyone's name in. It's like the reaping in the Hunger Games, except with less risk of death. The red team's captain will be... Her hand dipped into the bowl, rummaging through the various pieces of paper with names written on. Holly Davis. Wait, is she being serious? I ran up to the red flag that was stood on the ground, fluttering in the wind. And the blue team's captain is... The entire camp held its breath. I'm going to give you guys 5 guesses as to who you think the blue team captain will be. Oh, wait. Harry Styles. Sorry, can you just give me a second? A large cheer erupted as he jumped over to the blue flag next to me. Why, hello again. He grinned at me. I just glared at him. I didn't want to waste my breath. Well, Davis, I look forward to beating you this year, Harry said, walking up to me until he was right in my face. I looked up at him. Game on, pop star. Roll credits, baby! Roll credits! Ooh! That's the name of the book. She just said the name of the book. So we're 6 chapters in. And now we have a plot line. We actually have a story that could go somewhere. We've had 5 filler chapters, and now we're gonna get going, okay? But obviously, there weren't enough characters in here. We have the 5 members of One Direction, Holly and her 4 friends. We got Mrs. Lewis and another teacher called Mrs. Robinson, who I didn't talk about, but they randomly introduced like a second staff member who I don't think ever gets mentioned. But clearly these 12 characters, as well as James the Clingy Ex, 13, clearly these 13 characters aren't enough. So we need to introduce some more, right? So that they're walking back from the camp meeting, talking about how they're gonna win. And then this happens. My back suddenly collided with something, causing me to rocket forward into Alex, who thankfully caught me before I fell to the ground. I quickly turned around to come face to face with a pair of blue eyes. The eyes belonged to a cute face with a messy shock of dirty blonde hair. "Oh, sorry," he apologized, flashing a genuine smile. "The name's Luke." "Luke Hemmings? Yours?" Holly Davis?" I smiled back, returning the handshake. A pretty name for a pretty face. Couldn't stifle the laughter as I began to giggle uncontrollably. "What?" Luke asked, his brow furrowed in confusion. That is such a cheesy pickup line. "What's next? Are you from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see?" "Please," I said after calming down from my fit of giggles. Why is she so mean? He gave you a compliment. This bitch hates everyone. We then get introduced to Ashton, Michael, and Callum, who are the other members of 5 Seconds of Summer, because clearly I couldn't pick just one group to have a hyperfixation on. It had to be 2. So 5 Seconds of Summer are now thrown in here as well. "I didn't see you guys at the meeting. What team are you?" My question was cut off by another character entering the conversation. "They're in my team. You guys might want to stay away from them. They're the red team," Harry whispered, but loud enough for us to hear. "We'll see who's better tomorrow at the first challenge, won't we?" I commented, crossing my arms. "We will." He snapped back before I shoved my way past him. "I'll see you around," I said to Luke and his friends before finding my way back to the cabin, the other girls following me. So I think we've got a pretty good setup here. We've got good cop, bad cop. We've got Luke, good cop, Harry, bad cop. My God, it's already a triangle. I'm weak at the knees at the thought of where this could go. Okay, now we're on to chapter 7. And chapter 7 is quite simply the worst chapter. So the girlies are heading to the bonfire, the camp bonfire, and they get called over by the 5 Seconds of Summer boys. Basically, the boys say that they're writing a song that they wrote. And the girls are like, "Oh my God, you guys write songs?" And the boys are like, "Yeah, it's easy." And the girls are like, "Prove it then." So they write a song by asking Holly to say things about herself. So she says, "My name's Holly. I've just turned 18 and I work at a diner in the middle of London since I tried to run away from home." Why did you try and run away?" Ashton asked me curiously. "I want to sing, and the people around me were telling me that I wouldn't make it, and I guess that I just got bored with wishing on stars," I explained, leaning back on the tree that was towering over us. I literally took a verse of a 5 Seconds of Summer song and just put it into a context. But so then Holly's like, "Oh, can I hear the verse?" And they're like, "No, you're going to have to wait until we perform," just for them to get called onto stage in that moment to sing their song. I then proceed to quote the entire 5 Seconds of Summer song, not just a verse or two, no, because, that word count needs to get up, I needed to bring that shit up. The chapters were a bit short. I needed to girth it out. So they finished their performance and Mrs. Lewis, counselor, comes up and says, "Okay, so is there anyone else who wants to join us?" I shared a look with Alex, Rebecca, and Crystal. "We will," I shout, the entire crowd turning to look at us. Me, Alex, and Rebecca all did a singing dancing course together, so we know loads of different dances and songs. Okay, then what would you guys like to sing? Move by Little Mix. However much we didn't like pop, we did have a soft spot for Little Mix. Naturally. Even 13-year-old Lexie loved women. We loved that. So they round up their backup dancers. Given that this is an impromptu performance. This is a performance that they've just decided to do. They round up their backup dancers. And they jump on stage. I then continue to write down all the lyrics. Oh no, not even. I was about to say I wrote all the lyrics to Move by Little Mix, but I didn't, because just as they're about to get to the chorus, the Wrong Direction boys walk onto the stage. Escandalo. We're kind of performing right now. I spat at them. You call that performing? Harry asked before laughing loudly. We could take you on any day, Alex shrugged, her cold, hard stare burning holes in Harry. Bring it. Louis shouted from behind. Then there's an author's note that says, if you don't know this song, it's called Rock My DNA, and it's a mashup of One Direction's Rock Me and Little Mix's DNA. And then I go on to quote the entire mashup. Oh, the logistics of this. It's giving camp rock. It's giving camp rock. So not only did these girls have an impromptu performance that they ran on with their backup dancers, they now just so happen to have a good mashup with the boys that they hate and an instrumental and all sorts. I'm confused. Color me confused. Once he finished the song, the audience stayed quiet before going completely crazy. I, however, was still glaring at the idiots. Yeah, we won that, I bragged before leaving the stage. We walked back over to Callum and the boys. Oh, wow, you guys were great, Michael praised, giving each of us a hug. Thanks, you too, that song was awesome, I returned the compliment. All of a sudden, I felt another hand wrap itself around mine, pulling me away from the group into the quiet cover of the forest. I don't think I could read this. I don't think I can read this. I don't think I can read this. I don't think I can read this. Okay. Hey. Luke grinned his trademark cheeky grin. You've known him a single day. You literally met him that morning and he's got a trademark cheeky grin. She's whipped. She whipped for real, for real. She just like me for real, for real. Sub. Sub. You guys are great, by the way. I repeated. You too. I could feel the gap between us closing. Luke's warm breath fanned my face as the gap got even smaller. Whoa! Wait a minute. I laughed awkwardly, creating some distance between us. I don't do kissing. To be honest, I don't really do relationships. I'm not that kind of girl, I explained. Seriously? Luke asked me, slowly nodding in agreement. You know what, Holly? You are not like other girls. Well, I do try my best. I'm letting a small giggle slip from my mouth. Another giggle. Yo, Luke got her kicking her feet and giggling for real. So, besties? I asked. Did she just friendzone him? For why? For why? For why? There was a long but comfortable silence. I don't know anyone that's been friendzoned and then ended it on a comfortable silence. They're in a forest. Crickets. Literally crickets. Let's roll. They'll be wondering where we are, I pointed out, heading back towards the faint noise of music in the background. Yep, let's go, bestie. Luke replied sarcastically, pulling back to the party. He's bitter. He is bitter. Okay, we're nearly free of this hell. We're nearly done. Okay. So chapter 8 is the first challenge. So hello, everybody. Well, I guess you're wondering what your first challenge is. I looked around and lots of the campers were nodding their heads. First, can the two team captains come on stage? I bounded onto the platform, greeted by cheers, followed by douche face. So your first challenge will be an assault course. And they get told they have half an hour to get to the other side of this water assault course. However, all the team are going to be connected by their ankles. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually think this is kind of cool. Like, it's a cool idea, you know, because if one falls, everybody falls. The logistics of this book really were not very well thought through. But we should have also gathered that from when it was snowing in summer. So we'll take it with a pinch of salt. I took one last look at my team before the loud starting horn blared and I dived into the icy depths of the lake. Okay, now we're about to get dramatic. Dramatic music, cue! Let's go. I immediately kicked towards the surface, my lungs gasping for air. I turned quickly to see Alex behind me, her hair now plastered to her face. We need to go under, she shouted over the loud crashing of the people trying to stay afloat. Can they not swim? Okay. Guys, we're going under, I yelled, nodding head supplying as my reply. I took one last gasp of oxygen before dropping into the water once more, my eyes adapting to the water. Say water one more time. I could see the bright blue of Harry's team next to me. There's no way they're going to beat us. I kicked my feet, propelling myself forwards as we made our way to a large gateway. I faced Alex and gestured for her to go up to the surface once more. We're all going to have to hold our breath for the whole time. Help anyone who needs it. What does that mean? Help anyone who needs it. This is can't people die doing this? Does this camp have any kind of like security or like supervision? Again, 2 members of staff with loads of people underwater, possibly able to drown. Is someone gonna die? Would be kind of funny. Almost immediately, I was facing the gate once more, the cold water chilling my bones as we continued through the tunnel. Once my head broke the water, I gulped the fresh air, my lungs burning. Around me, others were doing the same. Keep moving! Someone behind me yelled, snapping me back to the competition. There was a large rope course looming before us. Better get climbing. My limbs ached as we continued to ascend up the ladder, my body screaming at me to stop, the chill of the water numbing my hands. There was another sudden jolt from my ankle, me only just grabbing the rope in time to not be dragged down. What was that? I yelled, not looking down. Don't worry, someone just slipped, I heard Crystal yell back. There was another stronger pull this time, causing the whole course to start wobbling uncontrollably. The unsuspected violence of the movement caused my hands to suddenly lose grip as my body plummeted back down into the black water. And that's how the chapter ends. Cliffhanger! Oh, and now we got Callum's POV. So, you know, we're gonna swap over to the boys' side now, just to add some little spice. Does this mean I have to do the entire thing in an Australian accent? Fine. Hurry up, I yell at Ashton as we continue to ascend up the rope course. I'm not actually sure yet, but it looks like the other team is gonna win this one. Looking over, the red team is way ahead of us. I can make out Holly's hair in the front of the line, clinging onto the wobbling ropes. Wait, wobbling ropes? Wait, is that even safe? Hey, Luke, do you think that looks particularly, safe? I ask, gesturing over to the ropes next to us. I'm sure they can handle it. What the hell? I could hear Michael yelling as the whole of the red team dropped into the murky water of the lake. Alex popped up from the waves, everything about her signaling that she was both worried and lost. Me, always. That's going to be the name of my autobiography. Worried and lost. Alex? Alex! She quickly looked up, treading water furiously to stay afloat. What's happened? It's Holly. She's fallen off the ropes and her bandana fell off. I can't find her. She screamed, a mix of both tears and water falling from her face. Crap. Wait like 5 seconds, Luke suddenly called, beginning to untie his bandana. Oh, the bandanas are what are connecting them to each other. Oh, they're connected by bandanas. Oh, okay, cute. Okay, cool. Luke, what the hell are you doing? I'm going to get Holly. Without giving me another chance to speak, Luke let go of the ropes, plunging into the water with the others. I didn't see Holly until 4 days after. Where the fuck is Harry Styles? Where is he? Never fear Harry's POV now. In case there weren't enough perspectives in the mix, let's throw in another. Luke, what the hell are you doing? I heard the distinctive accent of Callum shout from below. Oh wait, no, I'm Harry. I heard the distinctive accent of Callum shout from below me. What was going on? Looking down, a scene of chaos was playing. The red team had fallen into the lake, all looking as confused as I was. I need to know what's happening. Hey, Niall. Niall's Irish. Yeah? What's going on? Niall was quiet for a moment before opening his mouth. So basically, Holly just fell off the rope course, dragging the rest of her team down with her. Only to have her bandana fall off, which means that she's currently falling to a watery death, which is why Luke has just jumped in the water to save her, I think. That was good. That was good. Holly was drowning? Why the hell wasn't anyone helping her? Apart from Luke, obviously. So someone is helping her, Harry, you dumbass. There was only one thing I could do. I gingerly pushed my hair out of my face before jumping off the ropes myself. Pulling down Zane, Liam, Louis, Niall, you get what I mean. Luke was smart. Luke detached himself before he jumped in. Harry just said, no, we're all falling. How is he supposed to be helpful if he's attached to everyone? I squeezed my eyes shut as the freezing water made contact with my skin as I kicked to stay above the surface. What's wrong with you, Harry? I could hear the other boys yelling at me as I searched for Luke, eventually seeing his damp blonde hair only meters away. Luke! He immediately turned around. What are you doing here? I'm here to help you get Holly. Why? You don't even like her. The sudden harshness of his words stunned me. But he had a point. I didn't like Holly. But that doesn't mean I could possibly want her to die. I'm sure if you took away her bitchy attitude, her negativity, and her hate for all other humans, she would be okay, I guess. Literally people talking about me. That doesn't matter right now. All the time that we spend arguing right now is more time that she's spending drowning. Okay, but don't think that this conversation is over. Luke took a deep breath before submerging himself in the water. It's now or never. I took one last gulp of air before letting myself sink under the surface. Excuse me. My God, this is so dramatic. I really wonder what happens. Wouldn't it be just so funny if neither of them made it to her on time and she did just drown? But never fear, because our final chapter, chapter 10, because we did get answers, is 4 days later from Alex's point of view, because Callum's, Holly's, Luke, and Harry's POVs were not enough. We need a fifth. It was crazy when Luke and Harry pulled her above the shore. People were immediately jumping in to get her warm, to keep her, well, alive. But here's what I don't get. Yeah, it was pretty expected for Luke to jump in. I mean, come on, he likes her. But for Harry Styles to go after her as well? I don't think any of us saw it coming. To be honest, I don't think Harry saw it coming. Alex? Alex? Alex! My mind snapped back to reality as I looked away from the bed, seeing Harry stood before me. Well, you know what they say. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Harry Styles, Harry Styles, Harry Styles, Harry Styles, Harry Styles. Oh, Harry's POV. Okay, don't worry. We're getting interesting now. We're getting interesting. I wandered around the cabin, my fingers drifting over the rows of plastic CD cases scattered on Holly's shelf. She has a lot of them. She must like music. He's so smart. The thoughts are still jumbled in my head. Why did I jump in after her? I mean, obviously I didn't want her to die, but I love how the option is just death. Like, she just would have died. But we were winning. No, you weren't. Calm down, Harry. At least she's fine now and not dead at the bottom of a lake. I would never want that to happen to her. Like, never. Okay, that felt weird to say. I mean, think. Why is it weird to, like, not want someone to die? Like, being like, oh, I just would never want to see her dead. But you're like, oh, that was kind of weird to say. Okay, no, never fear, because once again, we've changed POV and now it's Holly. It's Holly this time. The noise of footsteps was quickly followed by a sudden slamming of the door, causing me to jump and once more landed a tangled heap of bed covers and body parts on the floor. A hot pain shot down my back as I hit the floor, a loud gasp exiting my lips. What's going on? The last thing I remember, what was I doing? I finally got up onto my feet, looking around the dim-lit room. Posters lined every wall, stick-on with large amounts of blue tack. Black Veil Brides, Green Day, All Time Low. Who were all these bands? Did I like them? Oh, my head hurts. A lot. Taking a deep breath, I finally took the chance to look up at my reflection, suddenly screaming. Why was my hair purple? Has she got amnesia? Did this character get amnesia? Is this? Oh my God. She's got freaking amnesia! Now we're back again to Luke's POV, our like 5th POV of the chapter. So they're going back to check on Holly. They've had their pizza night. They're going back to see Holly. See, just what I was. Wait, it's empty. The bed is empty. Holly? I quietly called, getting no answer. Do you reckon she's... Michael's question was cut off by a loud scream from one of the rooms down the corridor. Holly! I yelled, slightly louder than before. Before my feet could even move from their position on the floor, the fuchsia-headed girl ran in the room, her head in her hands. She obviously hadn't noticed us as she ran right into me, the only thing stopping her from falling on the floor being my tight grip on her wrists. She screamed at the contact, looking up at me. Oh, Holly, you're awake! I grinned, taking a moment to just look at her. Her crystal eyes immediately clouded over as she pushed me away from her, taking several steps back. Who the hell are you? She yelled, backing into the wall of her bedroom, tears threatening to spill. Holly, what? It's me, Luke. I laughed nervously, hopefully brushing it off as a joke. Okay, well then, Luke, maybe you can tell me exactly who you are, where I am, and why the fuck my hair is purple. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where it ends. That's it. That's the book. It's done. It finishes. I didn't update it since. I did not update it after 2014. That's it. I think it's safe to say that was freaking awful. It just wasn't even necessarily cringy or like bad to a degree where it's like embarrassing to read. It was just bad. It was just boring. Like, what was I thinking? I just spent an hour of my life that I'm never getting back reading this shit. And I'm going to try and edit this down as much as I can, but you guys just wasted your time as well. So you're welcome. Welcome back to the channel. There you have it. There was Game on Popstar, a literary masterpiece. Please leave your reviews in the comments. And I will see you guys next week in my next video because we're going to do some weekly uploads. Let me know if you want to see more of this. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe. All that good stuff. You know the drill. I'm happy to be back. Goodbye.